Good morning, Mike.
Good morning, everybody. Good game, Mike. All right. There you go.
Breakfast Club. Never had a bad day.
Never had a bad day. No, we're good. Especially being in line. Yes.
I love your guys' outfits. Thank you.
Thank you
For this.
Thank you.
I love it. We're ready. Underdressed now.
They don't know us. We hit him. Sean Clifford.
Oh, yeah. We'll see you tonight. We'll see you tonight.
Cincinnati slinging.
Hold on, Mike. Okay, grab your pen and paper. It's time for the obligatory PSU pregame show.
All right, want to know?
No,
Want to know? Definitely better than 0-1.
correct.
It's the obligatory PSU pregame show from Champs Downtown. I am your fake host, as always, Chris Bucanani, here with two of my usual running mates, beloved campus icon Mike the Mailman.
Everybody, we're ready to go. We're ready to go.
You're happy.
I'm happy,
You're
absolutely.
Regardless.
No, absolutely.
Your traveling companion from West Lafayette, Kevin Horn.
Oh, by the way, can I say something? I want to party with him all the time. He is I thought I used to be a good party guy. He is a great party person.
All right, we're going to get into it.
Who
And
picked the tabs up is the question.
Oh, yeah.
filling in for Noble, Keith Conlon.
There he goes. I don't even get a legendary icon or nothing like Mike.
Sports Illustrated cover boy.
there you go.
Yeah.
Okay, how's that? How's that?
Wow.
All right, and I do just want to mention to everybody today.
There we are.
There you go. Look at this.
Oh, look at that. Oh.
Yeah. Can't talk about campus icon.
That is
We'll later. We'll talk about this later. You're so proud of this.
I'm proud of
I want to mention to everybody we are enjoying today on the show from our good friends at New Trail their new Whiteout beer. Excellent sponsor for the obligatory PSU pregame show, right? Is New Trail with the Whiteout beer.
it. Ironically named. You can't see through it, but it's delicious.
Yes, it's very good. It is going to be available for sale here in State College starting weekend of the Ohio game. So if you're coming into town this weekend or any weekend, pick up some Whiteout beer for your tailgate. Enjoy it at your Penn State watch party. W.R. Hickey here in State College. If you're on your way in, the preferred provider.
Oh, yeah.
All right, let's talk Purdue, guys. And first of all, you're wearing the get-ups. Everybody got a little bit of a taste of your trip out there to Breakfast Club. Talk about it a little bit.
Well, you
before we
never
get into
really
the game.
feel like the biggest piece of crap is when you're sitting at the window of a bar at 8 in the morning and students are walking to class
yeah.
looking at you.
That was sad, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It really was.
It's sad
Oh my
for-
God!
for who?
I didn't even
Sad
think
for them.
about that.
Oh, yeah, it was terrible.
But
You know you're a good student when you're doing that on game day.
it was strange. I had done Breakfast Club in Purdue before. It's essentially their only tradition at this point. And you normally have to get up at 5, 6 in the morning, line up. There's 5 bars doing it. But Thursday kind of threw things off. If this was in State College or Ohio State or Michigan, any number of other Big Ten schools or certainly the SEC, it wouldn't have mattered. Thursday or Saturday would have been the same.
Yeah.
Purdue, we were one of maybe like 20 people doing it the whole morning
Jeez.
while thousands of people were walking to class like looking at us like these pieces of garbage.
I watched your videos and I was sitting there thinking, there's not that many people out right
But
now.
we had some screwdrivers.
Now it makes sense to me because it was. I mean, how the hell does Purdue not cancel the school?
I don't know. Actually, Jess said that. Well, I can't believe all these kids are going to class when it's game day.
Yeah.
She said that.
Yeah.
We walked through campus, and no one put their thumbs down. One kid said, "Why are you 5 people wearing a lion costume?" I said, "You don't think about football?" He said, "Not really." I said, "Okay." I didn't tell him. He did. They're a basketball school, apparently.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
so-
at best.
Apparently.
They didn't know not football. But
I mean, if you're not ready to start drinking at the start of college football season at 8 a.m. on a Thursday, or even in the Big Ten,
Yeah.
honestly.
How was the environment on the field at the stadium though? I mean, it looked pretty lively.
It was full and it was
full.
black.
It was definitely full.
But they're silent. They don't know what they're doing. They're silent. I mean,
Boiler up, whoop whoop.
no, none of that.
No.
Fourth down, boiler up, whoop, whoop. No, nothing.
I wasn't intimidated by that at all.
Jeez.
Third number of people at basketball games is 10 times louder. They don't know how to do football.
No.
But I brought you this. We had some screwdrivers out of these nice green cups at 7 in the morning, so that's for you, Goon.
Thanks, buddy.
Yeah.
That's the first time I ever had a screwdriver at 7 o'clock in the morning, and that large.
Nice little glass for my hand here.
That's a big screwdriver.
Yeah.
It was fun.
A big vat behind the bar. Just.
I put milk in here, water, Gatorade. Yeah. Sure.
Watch that.
The sort of hard-hitting analysis you've come to expect
Yes.
from Obligatory. Well, plenty of injury updates for you later.
Yes.
All right, guys. So a lot to unpack from this season opener. I think it is definitely in the eye of the beholder. And context matters, perspective matters. Give me 1 or 2 key takeaways, Goon.
We don't win that game the last 2 years.
I like that.
That's
Okay.
the overlying thing, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Is I don't think that we win that game if it was the last 2 seasons, and I think that we're learning as a team and as a staff and going forward, and I'm a big believer in. I'm really excited to see where we're at this time next week. Are we talking about Ohio because of the improvement that's needed between week 1 and week 2? Now that's where the most improvement always is on a football team. Always, because it was the first live action and this and that. I thought our special teams were freaking outstanding.
Yep.
I mean, really, really good. And that's usually the one aspect of college football and the NFL of opening week, because there's no live contact in camp for special teams. Yep. And I think that, we changed the game a lot.
Yeah.
We changed position a whole bunch with our punting team.
Yeah.
If there's not a Barney Armour, Barney the Dinosaur, Nittanyville banner on Saturday, that'll be a big miss.
What about the
going on that.
6'9" punter, the backup kicker?
Yeah, we have a very
He's
large.
enormous.
He lost like 30 pounds at camp too, so you should have seen him when he came in.
But he's got the height and the weight.
Yeah,
We used to have the kicker here, the toe.
right. Didn't quite have the height.
He didn't have the height.
Didn't quite have the height. Yeah.
Oh, I want to see him run down the field and make a tackle like the toe used to. That would be freaking fantastic.
Noble is crying right now, the amount of time you have devoted in this segment to special teams. Okay, so Kev, kind of a miserable experience. It's going through a lot of that game, but at the end, we're feeling pretty good. What do you got?
Well, it was an archetype James Franklin era game, right? Like you're the more talented team.
Except we won.
Well, but you win like 50% of those, maybe a little less.
Okay.
Sloppy, mistakes, but you're more talented. So at the end of the day, you're going to win half of those. Sean Clifford came out with that drive, which no one, probably not even half the team, thought he had in him, and they pulled it off. But it's a James Franklin era game, which means you're miserable from beginning to end because nothing is smooth, nothing is mistake-free. But at the end, they got it done because they have the horses to get it done at the end of the day.
But they got it done.
And they got it done.
But they got it done. That was the big thing.
I got to say, Mike, from the Thursday night game, which was kind of jarring, through the rest of that first incredible college football weekend last week,
Great weekend.
I felt a lot better about Penn State showing whatever warts they showed versus, Iowa, Nebraska.
Oh, yeah.
You look at some of those other teams, I'm feeling a lot better about Penn State after seeing the way everyone else looked.
Absolutely. Did they give game balls to the special teams? They should have gotten it. I think they won the game for Penn State, I think. They really did.
You mean from the team or from the Big Ten aspect of it?
From the team.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, it's depending on who the captain was.
You're asking the guy who apparently never got a game ball.
I mean,
we were
freaking
told.
Nobles over here get NFL game balls. I didn't get a college game ball, for God's sakes. I got Sports Illustrated, though.
Oh, yeah, that's right. It is. That's right. You got
So 2 takeaways I had. First of all, we got to mention the fact that it does make you feel good to see the highly touted quarterback recruit in Drew Aller come in at a high-pressure situation,
Holy
look
crap, man.
unfazed by the moment, make some really nice throws. At least you know if Sean gets hurt, there is depth behind him that we did not have last year. Because not only do you have Aller, you also have Christian Veyer and a kid who played and won a game for us last year.
Right.
And then the other thing I thought was very impressive was the performance from Penn State's secondary. We felt really good about that unit coming in, and we saw multiple guys flash and make big plays throughout the night. So we are going to be back on the other side of the break. We're going to talk more about the game later in the show. Stay with us here on the Obligatory PSU pregame show. Cheers.
Taking a shot up at the tailgate lot with a stadium view. What a great spot. Damn it, I've been waiting all week. Counting down the days till I'm back in my seat. Taking a shot up at the tailgate lot with a stadium view. What a great spot.
Welcome back, everybody, to the obligatory PSU pregame show from Champs Downtown. As we talked about last week, going forward in this block of the show, we're going to have some highlights from the Blue and White Players Show, which you can watch live on the social feeds of onwardstate.com and statecollege.com every Monday at 6 p.m. Then you can watch them afterwards. They're archived, or download the podcast from the Keystone Sports Network. Here's some highlights from our show with P.J. Mustipher and Nick Tarburton. Enjoy. We are.
You talk about that process. What does it take mentally to go through rehab, to come back? Now we're lifting. You pass the conditioning tests. What does it take mentally to get to that point?
That was a big moment, right?
Big moment.
Huge moment, huge moment for me. That's really the biggest part. You know, the physical part is nothing. I've been doing that my whole life and playing football my whole life. But for me, the mental battle to just keep going, even when there's no progress being made, you know, that's the toughest part. But, you know, I've relied on the people around me to help me out throughout that process. And, you know, they made it known that, you know, we haven't forgot about you. When you get back out there, you know, we're going to be there right with you. So, you know, I used that support and leaned on them. And look at me now, I'm back out there with them. So.
And then, you know, like it happens to a lot of guys playing college football, your career took a little bit of a left turn in the injury department. Can you talk a little bit about what that was like for you?
Yeah, it was really difficult. You know, all throughout my, you know, high school career, and even, you know, before, you know, since I started playing, injuries were a thing. You know, I had one shoulder surgery throughout my whole career before I got to Penn State, and that was it. I never got hurt.
Yeah.
Never missed a snap. Never missed a season. So, you know, getting up here and, you know, going through some adverse or injury-wise was difficult for me. You know, it was a tough point in my life, but, you know, kind of like P.J. talked about, you know, too, throughout his process, you know, it's you find you know, people that are in your corner. You really lean on them, and you know, do everything you can to kind of inch or crawl your way back to, you know, get back to playing.
You'd be happy to go back to practice. I mean, think about that.
For it, I'm gonna tell you what,
going back, looking back as a player, you're like, I hated practice, but then when you're coming off a major injury,
yeah.
You're like, I just want to be out there.
Yeah, this was my like favorite camp because I really wasn't tired till the end because I was just appreciating everything that came along with it. So it really wasn't that bad for me.
Pretty cool, man.
What was it like getting back out there last week at West Lafayette?
It was great. It was great. Taking that field again, just being in them trenches again. It's everything I had hoped it would be. You know, we're 1-0. We got to win against a Big Ten opponent, stuff like that. Everything, the whole experience was phenomenal. Yeah.
Nick, I'm wondering if you can talk everybody a little bit through your Penn State journey.
Correct.
Tell us a little bit about your recruitment process, what brought you here to Happy Valley, why you chose Penn State.
Yeah, you know, it was a pretty easy decision for me. You know, I'm a Bucks County, Pennsylvania guy. You know, only like 2.5 hours from here. You know, and my recruitment kind of started early in my junior season in high school. Maryland was my first offer actually, and then kind of from there out, I knew, you know, I was kind of gonna stay in the Big Ten. I really liked the Big Ten, and you know, as soon as Penn State offered me, you know, it was kind of a dream school for me. You know, I'll never forget. Actually, it's funny. I have this picture my mom has of me as a little baby, man, all dressed up in Penn State gear and stuff like that.
When were you born?
I was born in '99.
Oh, jeez. Yeah. Oh, my God.
But since we got back, and it really showed in the game because we were able to roll guys and stay fresh. So if they just keep developing, not only them but us as a team, if we keep doing that, we'll be right where we want to be at the end of the season.
I'm glad, PJ, that we've got you and Nick Tarburton coming up in our next segment because you guys have both been around for a while. You've been in the program, and you spent most of your time at Penn State under Brent Pry,
right.
And now you made the transition to Manny Diaz. I'm just curious, what thoughts do you have about this late in your career, making that change from a coach you were comfortable with, a guy you knew, to Manny coming in? What's that been like for you?
Yeah, it's been great. You know, I had a coaching change as a D lineman. We all had when Coach Sean Spencer left and we brought in Coach John Scott.
Yeah.
So coaching change isn't new to me, but you know, I always tell people I have a ton of respect for Coach Pry. I love that guy and wish him the best at Virginia Tech. But it's been great with Coach Diaz. I think everybody wanted to see what his defense was like, and I think in that fourth quarter, once everybody got settled in, it showed what type of pressure we can get on the quarterback and stuff like different things we can do. So, you know, we're just getting started. We're just getting comfortable with his defense, and I think as weeks go on, you know, we'll be able to show the country how much better we are.
just kind of see how it's all unwinding.
I mean, I'm the crotchety old man here, so I know a lot of my old teammates want to know. I mean,
Really leaning into that.
Yeah. I mean, this transfer portal thing, has it ever crossed your mind?
No, and
It's such it's like the normal fans don't really understand it even as an alumni at Letterman. I don't really get it. I guess I understand it.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I don't really have, a ton of experience with it to begin with. Obviously I was a guy that was hurt, and probably could have had the opportunity to go ahead and transfer out, do something, with that. But I'm a guy that, I stay true to, what I committed
straight,
on,
man.
Kind of do everything I can to, just help this team.
He's old school like you.
absolutely,
Dude.
man.
Old
That's
school.
it.
We
I
need
love
it.
hearing that.
I'm an old school guy. For sure.
It's great. I mean, the image is a lot of people, they face adversity and they just run away from it right off the gate. And I just can't stand that because that's the visual of it on the outside. I mean, that's why I'm asking you guys. So, how much time we got left here, Bucci?
It's a live stream. Go.
All right, so I'm talking okay, so if somebody enters the transfer portal, in January, and then they were out visiting other places and everything, where are they eating? Are they eating in your dining hall?
You've been waiting.
I've been waiting to ask this question because I'm telling you right
No,
now, that guy wouldn't be eating in our dining hall.
That's a good question. I don't really know how.
Like, here's your point. You go over to the Pollock. You go over to the regular place.
Yeah.
Because that would infuriate me. You weren't with us.
Yeah.
Don't be eating with us.
No doubt. Yeah. No, I think. Again, I don't really know how it works to begin with.
Sorry, I don't mean to jump you, dude.
You're good. But that's not.
You're right. I've been waiting a long time to answer that question.
Yeah. That's not. Yeah, that's not how it is. I mean, if it, once you do that, I think you're kind of on your own. Obviously, but.
And I'm not poo-pooing the whole transfer portal because I understand there's a reason for it.
Definitely. I also have. I've had some guys that have left here that that are dear, my brothers, but there's certain aspects that I think that it's a good thing. I think in some ways, some guys just can never figure it out at certain places, get a second shot. But
look at you. You're a linebacker who they made a position for a defensive end.
Yep.
You're a quarterback. There's only one on the field.
Exactly.
So I think the transfer portal is more of a quarterback thing. I get it. But then the fact that all these other guys, because you're not a good tight end. What about playing left tackle or right tackle? What about playing guard if you're not a good tackle type of thing? There's 5 positions in the O-line and 4 on the D-line, 3 linebackers. You can find a place for. Yeah. See, I understand the transfer portal when it comes to quarterbacks. You know what I mean? But, sure. I mean, it's just the fact that so many guys just jump in and out of it and drives me a little bit bonkers as an alumnus.
I do just want to say, no shade on Pollock dining comments, okay?
Oh, dude, that's the greatest place in the world.
Excellent dining comments, by the way.
Dude,
Solo cup in my right hand, pigskin in my left, and it just feels so right, man. College football's back. Yeah, we waking up.
My name's Ty Howle. Played center at Penn State from 2009 to 2013. So I'm now the tight ends coach at Penn State, going into my 3rd season there, so helping coach our tight ends with Coach Franklin, and it's been an awesome ride. From Bunn, North Carolina. Bunn, North Carolina, grew up there. My dad was a high school coach there for 30 years, and so played for him, and then had the opportunity to come up to Penn State. Big thing for me was when I came up to the campus and got a feel for how important Penn State football was to the entire community in the state of Pennsylvania. It really stuck with me. You walk out and see a stadium with 107,000, and then you pair that with elite academics and unbelievable people to be around, and tough blue collar players. It was something that attracted me, and being a kid who didn't know much about Penn State football growing up, it was very attractive because it reminded me of what I grew up playing at my high school, small, 1A, 2A high school, and just good people who loved playing football and did things the right way. And I felt like that was Penn State football and is Penn State football. I think it was Aeneas 493. It was a coaching class with Russ Rose. So that one always stuck out because obviously I knew I wanted to get into coaching, but be able to take a class with a legend like Coach Rose, who's obviously been wildly successful and just retired, but it was kind of cool to learn from him and hear his stories and his philosophies. So I think that sticks out as the best class I had. I would have to say probably Sean Lee. I think he was really good and some of it is I was a redshirt kid that's going against a guy who's an All-American and ends up obviously being an All-Pro type player. You know, he definitely sticks out. Mike Maudie sticks out. Allen Robinson was a guy who was younger than me that, you know, obviously had an unbelievable season and career at Penn State. So those are kind of probably the top 3 or 4 that I'd say. Golly, best player I played against. I'd probably go with the best player I played against was Chris Borland at Wisconsin. He had a really good career. You know, that as offensive lineman that I went in hand-to-hand combat with was probably the best. I mean, it's always a tough question because I think back to like our D-line that I went against every day and linebackers, like it's hard to top those guys, but as far as from an opponent standpoint, probably. I graduated early, enrolled into the spring semester, you know, left high school early. And so I was doing spring ball, first padded practice, day 3. You know, I'm a center, you know, just got there. And, you know, I'm lining up against, I think it was Jared Odrick at the time. We were going the old 1s versus 2s. And we go on 2. Of course, I snap it on 1, nervous freshman kid. Joe comes over, runs over, you know, grabs me by my face mask and proceeds to tell me that if I don't get the cadence right the next time, he's going to send me home to pick berries back home in North Carolina. And I didn't grow up picking berries, or I don't know where he got it from, but it was kind of one of those, I'm going to send you back to pick berries, you know. So that was one that always stuck with me.
Solo cup in my right hand, pigskin in my left. Feels so right, man. College football's back. Yeah, we're waking up.
You know, everybody listen up. Well, a couple more people are coming. Now wait till they get here. Hi, everybody. Mike the Mailman here, standing in front of Old Main Lawn. I'm getting ready to kick off the 43rd Annual Cheers First Class Tour. As most of you may or may not know, I've had a Cheers First Class Tour for like 30-some years, but this year it's going to be the 43rd, just because it's my tour. It can be any number it wants to be. Since I retired 6 years ago, the tour has been dormant, although by popular demand, this 7th year we're going to start it up again. As this sundial suggests, the best is yet to be. Join me as we kick off the 43rd Annual Cheers First Class Tour. Yes. Yo! All the bad people who are talking. All the bad people who are talking. Get over here, come on. Hi. Okay. Hello. This is our 7th season. We have a guy who played football for Penn State and in the NFL. And one other guy's a young attorney. Another guy claims to be a 5-year Sam's Club member. We haven't verified that yet. This is the Grace, okay? This is the Grace. Your bride, yay! Okay, we have to toast. We have to toast the Grace. Wait. One more toast to Grace. The Grace, you got it? Okay, good. All right, good. Thanks. Will you?
All right. This is going to be $5 to get a picture taken with Mike. $5.
Okay, we got a picture.
Is that okay?
Absolutely, yes.
Okay, get in the middle. Get in the middle.
I'm in the middle. Okay, I'm in the middle.
Okay. So you're going to take
the process for the
time to go, folks. Everybody, we're going. See you. Good to see you. Everybody, time to go. Come on, everybody over. Everybody, come on. Take your time. No running. Walk. But she is. That's her national drink, right?
Yeah.
Right. She's a great gal.
Where are we, Mailman?
We're at the outside of the Tavern Restaurant in downtown State College.
How do you feel about it?
It's a great place to be. Lots of room. We're still having a good time. The tour's going really well. No, we just got here at the tavern. We're going to keep up the pace. We got a new T-shirt. See the new T-shirt? It's from the woman who used to work at the post office. She retired, Yvette. So this tour is for her because when she retired, it was during COVID, and she wanted me to give her a tour, but we couldn't. So we're doing it tonight for her. I have drunk more tequila tonight than I have in my lifetime. It's unbelievable. I like it. It's not bad. Tequila's all right. It's all right. Why don't we ever have that on the show? Let's have some tequila on it. The beer is too filling. I don't like beer. I like the tequila. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, we're off. The champs.
My sister Yvette and I are usually security on these bar tours.
There is security here.
Oh, there is?
The underground.
Oh, they're underground.
We are downtown Champs where we film our obligatory PSU pregame show. That's where we film the show.
I know you do.
Yeah, so.
What are you thirsty for?
Anything but tequila. Everybody hurry up. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Thank you very much. Yes. Everyone's paying me $30. That's better. That was better than the last one.
It's good. It's a kamikaze.
Don't worry, Mike, we brought a stretcher.
Well, thanks everybody for coming out tonight. I'm being responsible, and I think we're going to cut the cameras off a little early tonight. We're having a great time. Thanks everybody for coming. Hey.
People always ask me what Champs is like during the day because we do get crazy at night, but we're just a normal workplace.
What's good, bro? What's good, bro? How your weekend going?
It's alright, bro. How's yours?
Man, just chilling. You catch the game the other day?
Nah, I did.
That boy Steph Curry, he's something serious. Yeah.
Right now, I need you to high five your best friend. High five your best friend right now. Yes. Welcome back from vacation, Sean.
Good.
Taking a shot up at the tailgate lot with a stadium view. What a great spot.
You never cease to amaze me.
It was a good time. It was a good time.
It looked like it.
Oh, yeah.
It looked like it.
Hey.
Very good. Welcome back, everybody, to the obligatory PSU pregame show. We're at Champs Downtown. We're enjoying our new trail whiteout. Excellent IPA. Really, really good. And a great way to show you Penn State pride as you enjoy a few adult bevs at your tailgate, your watch party. Goon clued me in before we started this segment. You wanted to talk about that hit on our quarterback against Purdue. Go ahead.
I'm obviously slanted towards the Abdul Carter hit because he's from my high school. That was not a targeting call.
Yeah, no, not at all.
It was a blatantly BS call, but by letter of the law, it's like Major League Baseball, when some people can predict how the game's going to go because of the umpire, how their strike zone is. So it's like, we're getting to the point now where it's like, who's the television, who's the replay guy?
To that point,
like,
I do want to mention a milestone that happened last week. Big Ten referee John O'Neill announced his retirement. Yes. I think we're all Penn State fans are incredibly grateful.
He's working for an NFL team. And the first thing he did is he cut every Penn State player off the NFL
I'm
team.
sure.
He got rid of every Penn State team.
It was a well called game last week. Credit to the Big Ten referees. Well called.
There is one call I want to talk about, and that was the complete, like, late cheap shot on Sean Clifford's left knee. Like it was like
I appreciate you not using a word I'm going to.
I was going to, yeah. I was about ready to, because you should have seen me when it happened, and I was just like, you're going to kick Abdul Carter out of the game because of a questionable going for the ball / did he lower his head, and then you have a guy who was, in no way, shape, or form was he blocked, cut down, in order to there's no reason he had to hit Clifford in his knee. And the fact that Clifford had a monster...
And he clearly was going right for it.
A monster left knee brace, and then hits it, should have blown his knee out then, and then he crocodile rolls on him and twists him down like... and I'm like, that goes 15 yards, and then meanwhile Abdul Carter is kicked out of a game the rest of the game because of a questionable call, and we're going to allow that to go. But the Big Ten needs to step up there and say, you know what, we should suspend that kid for a half at least. I mean, that was just a blatant cheap shot. And my wife was like, you need to settle down, because I was calling for that kid to get high load. The kid who, and I'm telling you, I mean, there's stuff that happens in the trenches, and when you get a guy who blatantly attacks your quarterback to hurt him.
Watch this transition. Speaking of stuff that happens on the trenches, I teased it earlier in the show. We just so happen to have.
That's sweet.
Right here.
Wow.
There you go, cover boy. Tell us the story.
Fantastic.
There he is, right there.
Advancements in
the most legislative mustache in Penn State history is number 22 here. Yeah.
Brian Milne. That's the Rose Bowl, third quarter. I blocked nobody. It's actually hilarious. And the fact that my eyes are closed, and the advances in computer technology, we can't zoom some eyeballs in on me on that picture. We can't do anything like that. I don't care if I was cross-eyed with a lazy eye. Give me some eyeballs. So it's actually funny. So I'm playing right tackle. Bucky really pulls blocks back because Hardings was pulling and I'm pulling. The defensive lineman hits me and knocks me in the backfield a little bit. Just knocks me off a track by a half a second. I followed Brian Milne.
I was going to say, what Milne was your lead blocker?
Milne led me into the end zone, and I got the cover of Sports Illustrated, but I blocked not a person on the play.
Yeah.
It was unbelievable.
Penn State's had about 20 covers over the years, including specialty covers. That is maybe the best, top 2 at least. The only one that comes close is the Greg Garrity catch cover. But other than that, that's up there. That's a great cover.
That was the epitome. That was the epitome of that season, in my opinion. It was just like a dominant offense, and we're just celebrating the Rose Bowl.
And it's a fullback scoring,
Fullback,
right?
of course. 290-pound fullback.
By the way, you know why that happened? Well, you got that cover. It's karma because you never got a game ball.
That's right.
Like Noble. I mean,
the Glory Boys.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I had 4 sacks that game. Shut up. I gave up 4. Pretty boys, D lineman. No, but go back to the defensive lineman. That kid. I mean, I think the Big Ten needs to do something about that. He should have some kind of a little bit of suspension.
It does seem great. You make a good point. Carter has to leave the game, and it's at 15 yards, and that guy gets to stay.
Then you watch the LSU game the other night.
I got to go to a break.
See that? That was the most blatant cheap shot I ever saw.
We'll be right back, everybody.
Taking a shot up at the tailgate lot with a stadium view. What a great spot. Damn it, I've been waiting all week. Counting down the days till I'm back in my seat.
Tim and Steve here from the Let's Talk Penn State podcast, here with a couple fun facts about Ohio. Cue the fight song.
First off, let's start with alumni from the University of Ohio. Nancy Cartwright, who voices Bart on The Simpsons. Bob Brenly from the world champion Arizona Diamondbacks of 2001. Bo Pelini, Roger Ailes.
Well, certainly a bombshell there. Did you know Rufus the Bobcat? He viciously attacked Brutus the Buckeye on the field, and the guy in the costume trained for years just to stage the attack.
This year's Citizens Bank Game Day button, Bob Can't, in the past, blast the Bobcats, claw the cats.
I love the Bobcats one. I think that's fantastic. Did you know Athens, Ohio, one of 23 Athens in the United States, but also the Bobcats are one of 14 schools named the Bobcats. Can you name one?
I don't think I can, but I can tell you, I like this fight song.
Very good fight song.
Go State.
Beat Bobcats.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Obligatory PSU pregame show. As we promised throughout the season, we're going to have a little exclusive content with players from the Penn State football team as part of the Blue White Players Show, which you can watch live on theStateCollege.com and Onward State social feeds all season, Monday nights at 6 p.m. I am joined by my co-host, Aeneas Hawkins.
Absolutely.
And tonight we are joined by Nick Tarburton and P.J. Mustipher. Guys, thanks for joining us.
Absolutely, man.
Congratulations on 1-0.
Yes, sir. Appreciate
It
it.
was kind of a crazy game to start the season.
Yeah.
But after the entirety of the weekend, like, you guys maybe didn't even rank in the top 10 craziest games till it was all said and done.
Yeah, it was a lot of crazy football.
Did you guys get the chance to watch any of the games this weekend?
Definitely had some time to sit down and do it up, man. It was cool.
What was that like?
Weird. Different. Yeah.
A little bit of a different experience, right? Yeah. All right, well, everything's back to normal this weekend. We got Ohio coming in here. It's the home opener. And what I wanted to talk to you guys about a little bit is the experience of starting a season at Beaver Stadium. And I thought, since you guys are both seniors and you've kind of seen it all here, both of you, if you could reflect on, first of all, the first time you ran out of the tunnel for a home opener at Penn State. And then we'll talk a little bit about what it's going to be like this weekend. I'll throw it to you, PJ.
The first time I played App State 2018, so it was a tremendous opportunity. You know, I was nervous. I know. It was a crazy game. But like running out the tunnel, that whole game day experience, you know, I had no idea what was going on. And having to play in that game, I was really nervous. The first play I got cut blocked, so I was kind of disappointed with that. But you know, being in that type of environment, even when you're an older guy who's been through it all, you know, it still doesn't get old running through that tunnel. So I love what we have. I think we had the best game day atmosphere in the country.
Yeah, you know, I couldn't agree more. You know, that first time running out of that tunnel, man, in front of that 107, 110,000, I mean, it's something special, and it's really cool. And I think something that sticks with me, too, is kind of our game day tradition. You know, we stay at the Penn Stater, and that bus ride, you know, through all those tailgates, you know, up, get to the stadium, you know, that walk in, you know, seeing all the fans, get to see your family one last time before the game, you know, and then to run out of that tunnel and play in that game. And I also played as a true freshman with PJ in that game too. It was unbelievable.
Now, do you feel like there's going to be any type of sentimental value running out that tunnel for the last first home game in Beaver Stadium? What's that going to feel like?
I think you always gotta, just like have that in the back of your mind, like, this is the first time I'm gonna run out of here. You know what I'm saying? So it's something that, you think about, but at the same time, man, we're focused, as a team to just get out there and do what we can do and be the best we can be.
Yeah, definitely. I'm gonna definitely take it all in. Like you said, it's the first time. So just this whole season for real, I'm just be enjoying every moment, every opportunity we get. But like Nick said, we got a job to do at the end of the day. So no matter what tunnel we're running out of, who we're playing, we got a job to do at the end of the day, and we want to come out of that stadium and with the dub every week. So
maybe this is a dumb journalist question, but I got to ask it. Is there an adjustment that you have to make in the first quarter of a game like this just because of that emotional rush you get, especially for the younger guys?
I think, having a game like Purdue last week, understanding that, now we're home, now we're not going to have as much crowd noise on the offensive side of the ball, but we are on the defensive side of the ball.
Right.
We definitely have to prepare for that because it's huge. We communicate just as much as the offense does, our back end, the linebackers with the defensive front. So we do, we definitely have to be prepared for that, make sure we're dialed in with that because it can affect us, but we wanted the crowd noise to be a positive for us and affect the opponent we're playing.
Yeah, definitely. I totally agree. And I think, kind of going off of that, I think Franklin does a great job, each and every week, preparing us for what we're going to get. And I think now, going into that home game, he's going to give the defense even more crowd noise, pump it in throughout practice and stuff like that, and just staying locked in and prepared. But, I can't wait to play defense in front of that stadium this coming weekend.
PJ, you brought up a good point, especially as a defensive lineman. You talk about crowd noise, and the fact that you have that as an advantage this week. What is it like when you hear Beaver Stadium erupt after a big sack or TFL?
Man, it's like an adrenaline rush you can't get nowhere else. I mean, a lot of people ask me to describe what that whole environment is like, and you can't, and especially when you make a big play. I mean, it's a feeling you can't get nowhere else.
I'm getting chills just thinking about it right now.
That's how you know it's real.
Definitely.
Kind of last question about that is, how does the experience of playing the game and coming out of the tunnel, how's that match up with what it was like for you guys as you were getting recruited here and they were selling that to you?
Yeah, I mean, you definitely think you understand what that environment is like as a recruit, just being there and experiencing everything. It ain't the same at all, when you're out there, when you're taking the field, when you're making the big plays, you can only get that in that setting. So it's truly special, and you can't get it nowhere else.
Yeah, I agree. When you're actually out on that field and them bullets are flying, I mean, it's a different deal. And sitting in the stands on the sideline until you're out there, getting them reps and really out there seeing it, it's pretty crazy.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate it, guys. Good luck to you. I know our co-host, Brendan, always talks about that first bus ride towards the stadium and seeing all the tailgaters and the fans. It's going to happen this weekend. Mike's Trends and our picks coming up next. Stay with us.
Hi, everybody. Mike the Mailman with the next edition of Trends to Treasure. This will be for the weekend of September 17th. First up, we have the Baltimore Ravens hosting the Miami Dolphins. Baltimore is 9-1 in the last 10 games, so the play here is to take the Baltimore Ravens. The second trend this week, we have the Chicago Bears at the Green Bay Packers. The Packers are 6-0 versus the Bears, so the trend here is to take Green Bay minus the points. And moving on to our third trend this week, we have the Indianapolis Colts at the Jacksonville Jaguars. Jacksonville is 7-0 in their home games against the Colts, so the play here is the Jacksonville Jaguars minus the points. And who would I be without a bonus pick for you? We have the Minnesota Vikings versus the Philadelphia Eagles. The Philadelphia Eagles are 7-2 the last 9 home games against the Vikings. Take the Eagles minus the points on this Monday Night Football. So that's it for week 2. As always, I'm Mike the Mailman, and we'll see you next week. And remember, bet with your head and not with your heart. Go get 'em.
Love that Eagles pick, Michael.
Oh, thank you. I did that for you.
Yeah, well, I mean, you go where the trends tell you to go.
That's right. You're right.
As long as they are not playing an ex-wide receiver on a Tuesday night versus the Vikings, I feel good about it.
Good.
Also very smart to take the Packers over the Bears, I'm sorry to say. So it's the obligatory PSU pregame show. Chris Buganani with Keith Goon Conlon, Kevin Horn, and Mike the Mailman. It is now time, as it is at the end of every show, for our random number generator segment where we randomly generate numbers. And it's going to be like a really, truly random number generation. When you play a MAC school, you don't really know what to expect. Kev, we saw some encouraging things maybe out of the Bobcats that they're not going to be a total cupcake this week.
Right. Well, as Mike knows well, there's no such thing as a random number in this business because the number is 28 as it stands right now. It keeps bouncing back and forth, a half point this way, a half point that way. Look, Ohio's a good program. Ohio is always in contention for the MAC.
Yeah.
Ohio, last weekend playing FAU, they're home underdogs to FAU by like 5 points. They end up winning outright. I was on the Bobcats. I watched them a little bit. They're an athletic team, well coached, disciplined. Look, most Penn State fans see Ohio on the schedule, and maybe not anymore because of what happened in 2012. And they think it's going to be a romp, and they think it's going to be the halftime. We're going to see the backup quarterback the whole time. I don't quite see it going that way. They're a quality MAC program, and the MAC's getting better.
Yes, it is.
Right. The MAC's getting better.
It's watering down from the Big Ten with the scholarship limits.
And we've seen 2 rough weeks out of Nebraska, and I can't think of Ohio's program without thinking about how Nebraska fired Frank Solich for 9-win seasons, and then what he did when he went to Ohio and built that program up.
Neutral site, Ohio's favorite against Nebraska. It just is.
Yeah. Wow, that's probably
I think. So, look, obviously you like Penn State to win outright. I like the Bobcats and the points, though, a lot. I may even buy it down a little bit. But, look, I've been to Athens, Georgia, Athens, Greece, and Athens, Ohio. Athens, Ohio.
3 of the 14 Athens.
Yes. Athens, Ohio, by far my favorite of the 3. They get down. They have a lot of pride in Ohio because they didn't go to Ohio State.
That's the issue.
But Ohio, in many ways, is a better academic school than Ohio State. So they have a lot of pride in the little private school in the hills of Ohio, and they hate Ohio State. And they're like, hey, we're better in everything than you are except for football and basketball, so get out of here. So I like Ohio a lot. Penn State wins. I don't quite think it's going to be the romp that we hope for to get Allar in for a couple of quarters and some of these backups.
Yeah.
I like Penn State by 14, let's say 38 to 24.
That is some random number generation. Well done.
Yeah.
In the spirit of the segment.
Nothing random.
Mike the Mailman, what do you got?
Kevin, you know there's an Athens, Pennsylvania?
Been there too. Yeah.
18801.
Here we go.
Okay,
Sure.
anyway.
Almost to the New York border.
Google search.
Yeah, right.
I think he doesn't know how to use it.
I beat their butts in high school baseball. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I like Penn State. I think it win by 39. That's my number. I don't give scores. I just get, it'll be easy.
An easy cover.
Oh, yeah.
An easy cover from Mike the Mailman.
Absolutely. And I'm glad Kevin, last week he took the home dog. You're learning. You're learning how to do this.
You know what?
I like Ohio.
You had Penn State by 9 last week. I think you actually maybe had the closest of all of us.
No, Brandon did.
Did he?
Yeah, by 4. Yeah. He was right on, actually. Yeah. Don't tell him that.
He's not here. So
that's how we want to say.
What do you think?
I got to give. I mean, I always say this about the MAC schools, and Pennsylvania historically has always had the tough type of kids who love football and this and that. Guess what? So does Ohio.
Yeah.
I think Ohio might be better football than Pennsylvania right now.
That should still be the Big 33, don't you think?
I completely agree.
I agree.
Well, they could change it up a bunch, but because of the time-wise of kids going to school early, that's the problem with that.
Right.
But these kids that go to Ohio to go to these MAC schools are kids who wanted to go to the Big Ten. They're one tick smaller, slower, lighter, not as fast type of thing. So they are proud. I mean, I love the MAC schools, but Ohio specifically is just really good football and just like tough kids who go there. And there's nothing more that they want than to come up to Penn State and beat the crap out of us. There's no doubt in my mind. But I think that, again, what I started the show with saying is the biggest improvement on a football season is week 1 to week 2. Okay? It's great that we have a win, but you can't rest on those laurels at all. And I think that James needs to have a lot of teaching moments with these kids this week. And I think that it will correlate. And I'm with Mike on this. I got 58, like 14. I really do. I really think they're going to whoop that ass.
You think Sean Clifford's capable of putting up 58 points without a defense?
You were saying
there's no defense.
last week that there's no way Penn State scores 35 points this season.
37
is what you were saying
and
last week.
They're not there yet.
Well, he was saying that. I watched the show yesterday. I'm just saying he was saying that.
Look, I hope you're
that
right.
many points in that.
I hope you're right. I love my group of 5 schools, but I hope you're right.
I really think that he will get Aller in there in some meaningful possessions.
Sean could be sweating.
And what I saw last week from Aller was just very, very nice. You complain about Clifford being, and I do too a little bit, but he's a little jumpy in the pocket. But that's because he's been getting the living crap kicked out of him for 3 or 4 years. So you can see that. But if you see Aller goes into the game, and he just like steps up like Tom. I mean, I swear to God, I saw it. You know, Brady's pocket awareness is just unbelievable.
All right. Cut his mic off. Cut his mic off. Did you just compare him to Tom Brady?
I'm saying the fact that he stepped up in the pocket and trusted his offensive lineman, and he wasn't jumping in the pocket, and he threw 4 dime passes is what he did.
I did.
He really did. And one, he could have run for a first down. I believe Clifford would have taken off and gunned down the field a little bit. And Aller threw an absolute bullet down the field that should have been caught. 2 of those passes were dropped, and it should have been caught.
You need your score.
So I want to see him get some meaningful time. I really do.
Thanks, Mike.
Yeah, you need your score. We need your score.
I got the Nittany Lions winning 38-20. They have it under control. Maybe give up some garbage time scores. I want to see Drew Aller get a meaningful series before the game is out of hand, and I want to see a 100-yard rusher, and I want to see some new trail whiteout at the tailgates when I'm out in the field this weekend and every weekend. We'll be back next week. Stay with us, the obligatory PSU pregame show. Cheers, folks. Go State. Beat Bobcats.